Shot!
And the battle continues!
Char!
Hey, what's up everyone? Sid here with an ESO lore video. So, I'm really new to making videos on YouTube, but I've been playing a lot of ESO lately and the Elder Scrolls lore always fascinated me. But for some reason, I didn't really find any lore videos about ESO dungeons. And my experience as a new player coming into the game is that people tend to rush through dungeons fairly quickly, and I tend to miss clues, and sometimes I don't really know why I'm there or what I'm doing. So this is just my perspective and my interpretation of the lore, and let's just have a conversation about it. Because one of my favorite things to do while passing time here on YouTube is just watching lore videos of my favorite games. So today I'm gonna start a new series where we explore the dungeons of The Elder Scrolls Online, and we explain the lore, the story behind them. I'm not gonna go too deep and explain everything about every detail, but I'm gonna make it as clear as possible for just a dungeon lore video. So, first off, what is a dungeon in The Elder Scrolls Online? So, like most MMOs we are familiar with, dungeons are special instances that players are able to interact with. They always contain one or more bosses, large number of enemies, and loot. Dungeons may also contain chests, quests, ingredients, collectible books, and in ESO especially also sky shards. There are exactly 144 dungeons and trials in the game's initial release, and 136 are dungeons, delves, and other grouped instances. The other 3 are trials. There are 6 delves, 1 public dungeon, and 1 group dungeon per zone.
Some would think you're crazy to walk into caves filled with dreg and goblins. Me? I think you're either very brave, very stupid, or, most rarely, you're very good at what you do. Which is it? What do you get? How about unending glory? A life of pride and satisfaction? That good enough for you? What should you do? You're undaunted. Go kill something big, and let all Tamriel know of your exploits.
Before we start our dungeon run, we can already learn a bit about the lore from reading the loading screen. These extensive caverns in the volcanic rock beneath stone falls were once used for unknown purposes by the ancient Chimera, but were abandoned by the elves long ago. Now they are the haunt of goblins and other denizens of the underworld. Once we enter the dungeon itself, we meet a group of Dunmer. One of them is Vela Terran. When we speak to her, we receive our quest, Kings of the Grotto, and this is what she has to say.
You're part of my expedition. Interesting. This is no random chance. I believe you're the answer to our problem. We're searching these caverns for a sacred shrine that's been lost for ages. Our problem is that dreg and goblins are overrunning the place. Goblins are slow-witted. If you kill their chieftain, they must accept you as their leader. Stick the chieftain's head on a spike somewhere the whole tribe can see. Then lead them to attack the dreg. Once the dreg's king is dead, we'll be free to explore, and to reward you handsomely, of course. Goblins are pathetic beasts, but they have their uses. We follow the ways of the Chimera, not the false gods of the Tribunal. We're servants of the web spinner who Vivek usurped. Dunmer, Goblin, or Dreg were all caught in the strands of the spider's web. I'm sworn to secrecy by my order, but rest assured, our cause is just. Clear our path into the caverns and you'll be rewarded. That's all you need to know, and all that I'm permitted to discuss. If you don't think the reward is worth the risk, perhaps you should leave.
In a letter near Vila, we get a bit more info. So she sends the letter to others in hope people would join her on our quest for the shrine. In a book next to the letter, we find that there was a blade called the Ebony Blade. It is believed to be of importance to the Daedric prince Mephala, who values arcanum above all else. There is not much known about the blade, but what we do know is that it is possible that the blade can silence a mage by absorbing magicka, and it even has some healing properties, because it can stitch together wounds you suffer in combat. The last wielder of the blade was a Dunmer with a scar under his left eye called Andris, who slaughtered all but one of his handlers with it. There is one line in this book of importance to us for now, where the author is wondering how Andras knew where the blade was. The book says this, but his handlers whispered that the web spinner herself had told him. So the web spinner Viola mentions is Mephala. That means that the group she calls Fellows of the Web are followers of Mephala. Because Mephala is known in the Elder Scrolls lore by the names of Web Spinner, Spinner, and Spider, and her sphere is sometimes claimed to be lies, sex, murder, and secrets. Remember that last one for later. So are we working for a Daedric prince? So is Viola not telling us something? Why does she want this shrine? Is Andras and the blade there? So they went to reach a shrine within the caves, but a tribe of goblins has occupied most of the area, pushing out a colony of drop. So our first goal is taking over the tribe by killing their leader and putting his head on a spike, because I guess that's how the goblins do things. So, carrying on in the dungeon, we follow the path and kill the mobs down the road, until we reach the first boss. First boss we encounter is Taskat, the Pact Master. He's a level 15 goblin, and he has a bunch of Durzok and goblin adds with him. Taskat costs Agony, a high magic damage attack which briefly stuns the tank. This should be interrupted. Blood Craze is a physical damage over time attack applied on a tank. The damage isn't that high, it can't be avoided. Then we encounter the chief we need to kill for our quest. He comes jumping at us and we start fighting him. War Chief Ozazai is a level 15 goblin war chief, and he has a surprisingly large number of abilities in his arsenal. First off, he has a shock assault. Then his adds plan the Dragon Knight standard, which deals AoE fire damage to everyone in its radius. The second ability, Haymaker, is a very physical damage attack with a knockdown component. The main mechanic of the fight is Daedric Blast. From time to time, Ozazai will target players with a red beam. The player soon gets a red circle beneath him, indicating the explosion radius of the Daedric Blast. After a few seconds the explosion will go off, dealing a high magic damage to all targets caught in its radius. If you get the red beam on you, you should move away from the rest of the group to not blow them up. When Uzazai gets on low health, he periodically casts a physical damage AoE shout called Staggering Roar. It will take a lot of physical damage. You can avoid it by outranging it. So, once he's dead, we can put his head on a spike where he was standing before he jumped us. By doing this, we achieve our first goal and we can go to step 2, leading the Goblin tribe against the Draw. Where our main goal now is to kill the king so we can take over the grotto. So Bloodbirder, a level 15 drought, is the third boss in Fungal Grotto. Bloodbirder comes with 2 drought adds, who deal a lot of physical damage. Taking the adds down as soon as possible makes the encounter more easy. On our way to the Drought King, we encounter another boss, Clara Claw, a level 15 giant mud crab, with adds. When we finally reach the location of Claw the Drug King, he will come bursting out of the wall and engage us in the fight. When we kill him, we finish the dungeon. To complete our quest, however, we still have to talk to Vela Tiran again, the woman who gave us the quest in the beginning of the dungeon, and this is what she has to say.
Unbelievable. We spent years searching for the Spinner's Shrine, and these filthy creatures have been sitting right on top of it all along. Yes, you've done as we agreed. Take this for your work. Now you will leave. Immediately. You were ordered to leave. What lies beyond this door is not for your eyes. Secrets are Spinner's currency. Besides, this shrine contains privileged information your dull mind would not comprehend. Have I made myself clear? Your services are no longer required.
So secrets are Spinner's currency. Remember when I told you about secrets being one of the specialties of Mephala? And she's called a spinner. So yes, Vela and her company are followers of Mephala. She is worshipped by the Dummer as one of the 3 good Daedras. She enjoys seducing and interfering in mortal affairs. Presumably for her own amusement, though others suspect her manipulations are for a greater purpose. Mephala's minions are known as Spider Daedra. We also know from the loading screen that this grotto was made by the Chimera who worshipped the 3 good Daedra. So the Chimera eventually turned into the Dummer, and we know Vela is a Dummer. So we know now that Vela wanted us to clear the grotto out and meddle in this conflict because she's worshipping and maybe even working for a Daedric prince, aka the Prince of Spiders and Secrets. There is presumably, like Vela claims, a Daedric shrine behind the door, but we cannot go any further here. So maybe we'll find out in the next part. So yeah, this is where the story ends, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, be so kind to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!